Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Storm King's Thunder, where things have been derailed for the last 5 or 10 minutes due to tasty solubles. This is something that is going to be dragged into the mud now, and I will regret whenever I have to go down for my jelly. But goddammit, it is low on calories, so I'm going to have it. Anyway,
you said
who would like to tell the tale of the last session that did not involve solubles? Carls, how about you?
Why me? Because you like the tasty
Lord.
soluble.
I was gonna volunteer, but I already did it last week, and I don't think we're gonna hear my voice every week.
Oh god. Okay, we're gonna hobble together a recap from my notes.
Rather disadvantage for the night.
We wrapped up things in Neverwinter. Kind of grabbing some last little bits and pieces. And talking to Silda, we finally gave Vlad's mistress, the blood that they wanted
Definitely
to
not AJ
finish. To finish. And then Ashk and Faith both had a dream about the giant gods being destroyed, and Faith went off on a quest to go and get the Spear of Odin because she's cool like that. And then we did some planning, and then we scryed on Durin. Durin's okay, as far as we can tell.
Yeah, he is.
And then we were like, hey, let's just hop over to Waterdeep and then go kill some hill giants, easy as. And we hopped over to Waterdeep and we were not. Rockfed informed us that we were not in Waterdeep proper. And
it's
that
fine because Harshnag is there.
Harshnag was here, which made us realise, oh shit, this might be the Lady of Waterdeep's house, and now we're all shitting it. I think that about covers it.
Derek isn't. She's hugging Harshnag because she's happy he's here.
But Blue,
Hi.
Roll20 on Twitter has said, seeing a burst of reports about images in game, working under the assumption that these issues are isolated to ISP in Europe, outside Europe, and experiencing these issues, add me too to the thread. So you're currently in Europe, so
yeah, okay.
no worry about it.
For those wondering what's going on with the map at the moment on my screen, on the stream, basically a lot of the images aren't loading properly for me, so I'm using this placeholder image, which is just sort of awkwardly placed over the top of everything. But hopefully that'll get rectified during the night. We'll see. But it's a good thing. I'm glad Roll20 have actually said that it is an issue they've recognised, because I was tearing my hair out over it, thinking there was something wrong with my computer.
Yeah, I think it's just server issue with Roll20. So we'll see how it goes.
Carry on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, Frog, you're right. It was an internet thing, also.
Question not the woman who knows what she is doing when it comes to the websites. Anyway.
Oh, no, it wasn't a questioner at all. It was... Actually, I guess it was a questioner. Yeah.
Sit down. So, I will re-describe the room you've entered. It is probably about 40 foot wide. It's a semicircle with the curves meeting at a point behind you, which seems to be the entrance of a door. But to the flat end of the room, you see a large throne, beautiful marble, and a design that steps all the way up. Steps all the way up it to the very top, and there is a simple designed throne. There's nothing extravagant about it. Bar the material it has been crafted from, this is simple and functional. But it is the walls around you that truly catch your eye. As looking to side, you're seeing, and there are moments that you look at and you do recognize tales that you've heard, things that even you see yourselves upon these stained glass windows. They are moments of history, spanning out from the very far end of the wall, and the room seems to stretch the longer you look along the side of the wall to encapsulate everything that you behold. what was 40 feet long then goes to 500, but your image focuses back and it goes back to its 40. For as ever long as you wish to examine, you will see the histories of all of Faerun. But there is a point where you notice it becomes blank, and as if liquid moving across cracks of stone, color moves further down the walls, history being painted.
Before your very eyes. Sorry.
Harshnag stands up from you as Kirok was hugging him and moves over to the side of the throne. His entire form, meaning that he is now at the head height and looking into the eye of the person sat upon the throne. The person upon the throne, while wearing beautiful white clothing with golden trimmings, and even what looks like, you can't quite tell if it is silver or platinum inlays across necklaces with beautiful pearls. The ears are slightly elongated, but not as long as an elf or a half-elf, but not as short or stubby as a human's. Definitely a more human or elven form. The ears have many different decorative studs and rings that go down and around them in gold and silver. There are slight paints across the dark skin of the face, and it is a beautiful form. It is feminine. And it has both hands to either side of the throne at which it sits and is looking down upon you. You're all about 80 feet away from them currently. 40 feet down, 25 feet down the steps, and about 40 or so feet back towards the end of the wall. And they seem to look to you expectingly.
I've currently got my nose firmly planted on the ground, so I can't see any of this.
Wow, this is not where we were supposed to be. You say we're 80 foot away?
You're about... The entire length of the room is about 40 feet away.
Is there writing that at all around?
No. Everything is pictographed. Everything is imagery. There is no text or nothing that could symbolize a language or a script.
Damn it. All right.
It is all through your eyes that you see.
I'm assuming everyone's going to follow, but I'll walk up, so I'm about 20, 25 foot away from the throne.
You do.
I'm going to get a little bit closer and then...
And these beautiful sapphire, almost light-emitting eyes look towards you, expectingly.
Ashka sort of stiffens into a military way, is reassured by Harshnag being there, but upon seeing Glory approach, Ashka also approaches, still maintaining a bit of military respect, as in sort of trooping up the colour level of formality.
We would all know that this is the Lady of Order, wouldn't we? There's no mistake.
None of you have ever met them.
Yeah.
None of you have even heard of a actual description of them.
But we can put two and two together because we know that's where Harshnag went.
That's what
you
I'm
can.
asking.
Yeah, I was explaining that while you've never heard a description of the person, nor have you ever seen the person, you can realize that Harshnag said that they would go to the Lady of Waterdeep side and was summoned.
I'll just give a very sort of slight bow forward, keep my eyes on her at all times.
I'm gonna kneel.
I'm going to do the same, but with in the dwarven way.
I couldn't get close to the ground without... My knees are currently under me, but unless I was laying on my belly, I couldn't get
to
lower.
get closer to the ground.
Yeah.
I shall kneel.
And as you do kneel and you are looking towards the ground itself, what you're noticing is all at once and never at the same time. It is a multitude of different things. You see gold, diamonds, riches beyond imagining, all under this thin glass layer. But then it shifts, and you see skeletons. And then it shifts, and you see a world primordial. No touch of civilization. And then it shifts, and there is nothingness. And then it shifts to this world, and then back, and then again, and again. Ever changing, almost on the minute mark.
I will raise up from my bow and say, Your Highness, it's an honor to be in your presence. How can we help?
They nod low, and she pulls herself from her throne and stands up straight and begins stepping down. You now realize that the clothes that they wear slag behind them for a good 5 feet or so of just length of cloth and fabric.
That's how you know they're important.
If she steps down to the throne to be on our level, I'll go down to one knee.
Geralt does like a weird bird bow, I suppose. She's not really got the right legs for bowing.
It's more like just a dip.
It's like it's sort of like more like a crouch. It's like a crouch, I suppose. She's not really got the legs for it.
Move your arms out so it sort of looks like you're doing a curtsy.
Or a curtsy kind of thing.
Yeah, with the wings, I suppose, sort of flare them out a little bit.
Yeah.
But whatever weird gesture she does, she immediately gets distracted by the floor and is just like, ooh.
I kind of imagine it much like how a bird of paradise would do it, just sort of a big flare with the wings, and then suddenly, ooh, and then fall forward.
Remember, that's
why tail feathers are important.
Okay.
Oh, that explains the dress.
Curtsy.
It's like tail feathers. Ah, getcha.
Okay.
Remember, with the curtsy, you're supposed to just lift up your skirt slightly, not flare it out too much. So I would recommend doing the same thing with your wings.
It's just Zazu bowing.
Yeah.
Wings and tail feathers all.
You'll
then,
also notice
shiny.
at this time that Harshnag has, while he's not moved from his position by the throne, he's always had his hand on his great axe, the blades of it tipped towards the ground, and his hand on the end of the pommel, as if almost like as if it was a walking stick sort of position. And while he's not looking to any of you, he is just peering around the room like a hawk. She looks to all of you and waves a motion. And now you are all standing next to her and by Varys as she stepped down close, being moved quite close towards her.
Wait, standing suddenly?
Well, if you are kneeling, you are now kneeling next to her. If you are standing, you are now
I'm
standing
still
next to her.
cross-stated in front of me, yep.
Like where I am, basically.
And if you're bowing with your face against the floor, you now have a small burn on your nose.
That's where
Your
the mask
knees would be
comes
like,
in handy.
But unfortunately, no, none of that. It is just a movement of her hand, Varys, and you just follow it, and you see your friends are now lined up next to you and beside her. Defenders of Faerun, if I am correct. I have been told many great things by my protectorate. And she waves her hand out towards the stained glass windows, and it goes blank for a moment. And the first thing you see is feathers falling, and then flame rising. And from there, you see two forms, and they move, and then there are song notes, and then they all move, and you watch as step by step, then there is a great hammer on an anvil, and then vines are wrapping it. And then that anvil is in a river about waist deep.
Hey, I get that reference.
I remember that.
There is then battles with massive furred warriors with mighty clubs, exhausted and bludgeoned heroes. Now you see them. Strong features, thin form. And it continues up until the point where they now all stand next to a woman in white. You've all done much in your time together, and now you will see the path that may lay ahead. And she waves a hand, and you can just see for a moment it's like the entire wind from the room just takes out, like it's all gone in one moment, then it just resurges back in, like water being drained before being thrown back in. And you see giants. You see a great mound on a hill burning. You see stones of a great canyon being caved in upon it, and people, giants, being crushed beneath. You see a vampire, the king of dwarves, and all of you, with cannon fire, as you can even see balls represented moving in motion, as if it was a still stop motion, just bit by bit going, all bringing down a mighty tyrant. You see yourselves on the back of white dragons, charging towards frost giants. You see yourselves with many people you know. You see another red figure, much like Glory's icon, but ensorcelled in robes. You see another figure, much like Glory, but with wings. And you see another figure, much like Glory, but flying atop a beautiful stag-like bird. And you see a golden human atop a mighty griffin, charging towards a cloud. You see a giant being torn under the depths by a mass of tentacles. You see giant being pinned to a throne, and then a spear driven through them by a friend to their eyes, that then shifts into a blue form and disappears. You see the might of the world, all that you have seen before, laid low across a desert, with a great terrible fiend staring out into the precipice. Over statues, the blue dragon, dead. All of you, dead at its feet. And then that fades back to the moment where you are.
I will say this whole entire time I've been basically trying to jot down an idea.
Everything you get.
Basically what I'm doing.
The moment she sort of beckoned to it and was like said about this is like a possible path, I just faced the floor and I didn't look at any of it.
Okay.
I still haven't lifted my face off of the floor. I'm too scared.
Mm-hmm.
I do the same. I'm closing my eyes and more focusing on what aspects of the balance feel strongest in this area.
Currently, it is creation that is strongest here. But then the stained windows fade back towards the position where she now stands with all of you, the halfway mark. You have a chance, heroes, to defy something which has been in the making for thousands of years. The Great Devourer. Many years ago, many centuries upon centuries ago, back when I was immortal, the gods warred with the more primordial and eldritch of creatures, that which came screaming from the void, creatures that you may know as beholders and mind flayers. But also the elements themselves which ward over this realm, and the devils and demons whom too also rose to try to claim this realm, this place where it could be warped to any one of those devices. Even the gods placed their favor in it, and they forged a creature. They forged a monster to challenge all life. And she just waves her hand, and to the other side, which had other histories there, that goes blank, and you watch mind flayers fighting demons, a Balor ramming its horns into this great multi-tentacled monster. You watch an Empyrean, a mighty beautiful angel, striking down upon the pair. But then you see that the forces that would be order beginning to crumble and fall back against the combined assaults. And you see the gods, Muradin, Odin, Tyr, Sylvanus. All that you can imagine, any god that you've had in your mind is amassed here. And their hands are together. And from that point comes a terrible beast. Something that you've heard in folklore. Something that you've known by another name until this moment. The Great Devourer. The Tarrasque. It then rampages back.
Yeah, my
and
thoughts exactly.
You watch as it rampages back across the stained glass window, devouring all that it has, the demons driven back to the hells, the devils fleeing, the abyss being torn apart. And it pushes back all of chaos, but then turns back on its creators. And you see a mighty mountain range being risen to subdue this beast, and it was put to slumber deep within. From that mountain range you see it then raises up, and you see one of the largest peaks in the eye of the Old Father. You see one of the mightiest peaks in the spine of the old world. The beast has been locked away for many, many millennia. And she begins. There are those who would seek the ruination of all. This beast, its reawakening, would do this. How in their insanity they intend to do it, I know not. But I know that their path and your paths are entwined. I do not see hope should this beast be roused. But what I do see is the potential to keep it slumbering. This creature, this Imrith, this dragon, has the audacity to challenge order itself, and has made deals with, and she looks with a moment of disdain to the ground, creatures that should not be dealt with. Another of the gods' creations, to match all the horrors that the Eldritch brought to the sea, the Kraken.
Right.
That beast and her are in league.
Why do I have this image of as soon as she says that, everyone just turns to Rover going, okay.
I know, right? It'd be my fucking. It's like everybody's just like, so.
If
When were we
people-
gonna tell us?
If people could see the conversations I've been having with Curls for the last, month, it's all I've been talking about!
Anyway, let us continue monologuing. I'm in note-taking mode.
Yeah, let's try to keep the tangents down.
Continue the monologue.
Okay.
You watch as she raises her hands down and lifts up Zero to his feet and raises his head to look to her,
Oh, help.
before raising up Varys's head, and then Ashk's, and all of you to rise up to your feet.
I'm not worthy.
I'm not ready, man.
I stay silent, but I let her do it with...
Children of life, of order. while you see many of these things, many of them have their faults. The great devourer has not been unleashed upon this plane, but on another, an aspect of him has been unlocked. He has been worshipped on this plane. And so, that devouring monster is now as close to a god as any other. Influence has weaved its way for generations into the wild men of the north, and they believe they can resurrect it as a god that will bring them glory, but they will merely be the first morsels on its never-ending quest. I ask you, a task of no small merit, but one that you will all be known for in the eons of history. Ensure that beasts never wake. You will do this by destroying that dragon, disrupting her rituals, and ensuring she will never be able to finalize whatever dark deed it is she crafts. No doubt she still lingers among giants, cavorting with them, manipulating them. And this is why I tell you something that my dearest beloved friend told me, but I have since lost her. And she motions again, and this time you see again another one of the giant holes, this time Grutag. In all of them, there is an artifact, one to each, which can be used to enter the court of the storm giants. They are good folk at their heart. Currently upon the throne sits the youngest of Hecaton's children, and one who is not as angry as the sea, nor as reckless as the tide. No, one who is willing to listen to reason and good counsel. You must go to them and convince them of the truth. It is from them that you can do this. The giant lords, they do cause us great threat, yes, but the longer they are left, that is fine. Let the dragon believe she can manipulate them. If none of them are left, she will go desperate and then target her summoning ritual. How she intends to awaken it, I know not the spell. I know not the ritual or the blood that she will require. But what I can tell you is that we need replacements, not just of the giant lords, but indeed of the gods themselves. I have chosen few, many of which you already have met. And she motions a hand out to Harshnag, and you see that there is a massive necklace now adorning his neck. It's of almost of pure ice, true ice. It's just wrapped around itself into a mighty design of a battle axe, the symbol of the previous god of frost giants. I cannot give him the power to become this. It is an Anam's decision to do this. The god that is still alive of the pantheon, the one that could never be bested, for all giants worship. But if you were to do as what is intended, and slaughter your way through all of the giant lords and their kin, his following diminishes, and he is weakened. The devourer could take him. So for now, it is a matter of replacing the reckless and the chaotic. The easiest way to do this is to return Hecaton to the throne. For even the mighty Zalta would bend the knee, and that is a tool I would much prefer to have aimed at a common foe. It would listen to Hecaton, as with the Thane Calithica. Chieftain Gut is a fool, and must be disposed of. Jarl Storvald seeks to bring all world to ice, but the ring he seeks is in a far-gone land from here that not even his kin could reach, even in 100 years. It is folly. But you all have defied Zalto, and you've prevented his greatest ritual, the plans to make a tool. As the golems are to you children, this would be a golem to giants, and he would have used it to destroy the world. But no, you defied him, and now we cannot receive the adamantite he needs. That, and I do believe some chimes of opening were used to damage a lot of that material.
Maybe.
Very clever use of it. Now, you all have questions, no doubt, for I have laid down what is an impossible task. But I will offer you something. Multiple things, not that I can give personally, but things that I can show you the way to. In 200 years ago, there was a great king of men. He was the closest that the Lord's Alliance had to uniting the 10 towns. He was notorious in his youth as a dragon slayer. His great sword still exists on the material plane, as does his armor.
I saw Kuro's face just light up, just like, ooh, greatsword, what? Ooh.
Ooh.
This tool is Drake's Bane. Dragons have many tongues for it, but this blade is known by this in the common tongue. It sits within his tomb, as does his armor. And while he has been long laid to rest, he has not been resting. His spirit is uneasy, for it has failed in its ultimate task. Another creature that you have encountered before. He was felled attempting to slay Cloth. Needless to say, that beast is also on my radar. And there's a distinct reason why it does not travel this far south, and why I do not travel that far north. We both value our realms far too much to see the other ruin them while we destroy them. She takes her thumb and kisses it, and then places it onto Glory's forehead. And Glory, in that moment, you sense, in a distance, you can call to it, and you can feel a direction. And from where you are currently, in Waterdeep, northeast, and for a very great distance away, you do not have an exact mile, but you have a compass.
Cool.
Now, that is not all that I know. And I would recommend, perhaps, the disruption of the Hill Giant efforts, but not the destruction of Chief Disca. Disrupt them and then go find one or two of these things that I will inform you of. For there have been many great tools and many great times in this land. And remember, these are tools, not toys. The harpers among you will know that your archmages wield many staffs, but what your archmages do not inform you of is that several of the staffs are currently not being used. This is why
I kind of just.
This is why there are many of these mages, but many take to 2 schools or 3. They're keeping the numbers small, but they know you. And if you beat a test, if you present the demand for this, you may find perhaps one of these staffs. Through it, many great arcane wonders were cast. Much destruction was had, though, And I would ensure you be aware of this. This is maybe why it was not before stated to you. Now for you, child of the sun. And she looks straight at Varys. Your family had blades. Your kingdom had blades, but you were not the only ones. Within the elf wood, within the old wood, past Tribor eastward, for many miles, there is that great forest. Within there are wood elves that live. They seclude themselves, just as there are wood elves very close to Iron Slag in the northeast. These elves, each clan contains an elf blade, a moon blade, a weapon of destruction, and a right of sovereignty, a right of power, and a blade that is suited for someone who prefers your style of combat, Valorant Child. But do me a favor if you can, child. And she lifts your chin up to her, Varys, with a thumb almost stroking your cheek in a motherly way.
Mm-hmm.
Should you be able to, take that blade that was lost from you and cram it down that dragon's throat. I would appreciate it.
I'll do my best.
Your best has been more than enough already. You were blindsided by a foe you did not see, and a circumstance you could not predict for. But from now on, you must be cautious. Now, there is one final thing, but it is something that I could give. And as she waves her hand, the room changes. It is now like a great feeding hall, with 3 long tables and a throne position, almost like a stage, which she stands upon, and you are all now sat to the opposite end of the chamber. But there must be a test. You must prove yourselves worthy. And she waves her hand, and you can see from the stone in the ground, it almost melds to iron, and 2 forms rise up, massive and bulky. With a great sword in either hand, they stare towards you, massive suits of powerful, intimidating armor. And we're going to take a quick break.
Thank you.
That's a lot to take in over a short period of time.
How many pages was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I want to give you 500 XP just for keeping up.
I'm just
Jeez.
fucking saying.
Good God.
I know I gave her lore to drop on you guys, but fuck.
Hello.
So yeah, Curls, this is what happens when you don't give me a response and I just write other shit. Oh god, someone's giving you things.
Hey.
What is that much needed support cake?
I feel like
Alright,
they've done
back,
the
Maya.
perfect time.
Okay, we're going to take a quick bio, folks, and when we come back, we will begin.
For more lore. Yeesh.
Well,
Not,
I don't know if it'll
not
be
more
lore.
lore.
I think it's combat. I think
Okay.
it might be combat.
Now I phone to bitch.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Ah! Hello! Welcome back.
I refuse to be a meme.
You're already a meme.
Yeah, that's fair.
What's a good? Oh, actually, I know.
What are you doing? You kind of talked and then you interrupted yourself.
Just
He's
point it
trying
in
to
the
find the
camera.
right lighting.
Just continue. That's
He's trying to find the right lighting.
Red alert! Red alert! Red alert!
God damn
Okay.
Yeah,
it.
it's weird.
You all find yourself in this room. It is now a hall, for lack of a better term, a meat hall. She has disappeared, as has Harshnag. You are now all just in a room alone, with two massive golems that have risen up into place. I would like you all to roll initiative.
Oh my god, I can see this map! Huzzah!
Fire!
Oh my god, I can see!
And at last
I can
I
see!
see the light!
I can fight!
See the
And I rolled a 10.
To be
I wrote a
honest, like,
5.
all I could think of was that scene in Madagascar going, I can't see! I can't see! I can see! Ah!
use luck on my initiative. No, it's an 11 still.
Ooh, those are big
Oh,
boys.
that's right.
Hey, look at us, barely in double digits.
Is that all of you?
Boy.
No.
No one rolled above a 12.
I haven't to think about it. I was like,
Never
no,
I
mind.
know
wait,
if the
where's
audio has
the
to be turned down,
fire?
folks.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's fine with me. Oh, Ash.
Oh dear.
Was she consistent?
Oh shit.
It was consistent.
Very consistent.
Okay.
Meh.
Excuse me. You all look out and see these two golems have risen up. One of them, the one on the left, at the top of the initiative, looks towards the group, and you watch as it just lowers itself before leaping, and in a single bound clears the distance between you and it.
Well, hi there.
Aha!
Stop.
I get to punch you now.
Oh,
This
goodness.
is for all the memes. This is for all the memes.
I'll take it.
Meme squad will live forever.
Not at the end of this
Even if
combat,
our
it won't.
characters don't.
You're not fucking likely.
You watch
Die real
as
Don't irritate your healer, guys.
the golem raises up its sword and swings down towards the elf.
I'll cast shield.
Okay, what's your AC?
With shield, it'll be 20.
Nope.
Cool.
Take 18 points of bludgeoning. No, sorry, that was the wrong damage type. I said with sword. Yeah, that still would hit. That's 25 points of slashing damage.
Cool.
You didn't.
Oh, fuck,
You
I
didn't
used shield.
watch.
I should have
I-
used something else.
You can't do anything else because you
No,
did use
it's
it.
my reaction, yeah. No, it's me realising, yeah.
I will
Yeah.
use. Oh wait, no, never mind. I'll shut the fuck up.
Are you gonna use your reaction?
I was gonna, but then I read the rules properly. Carry on.
Yeah, it's someone within 5 feet of you. You watch as the golems raises up a fist after striking Advars. It just like pulls its fist in and it almost like just tightens up into itself like it compacts before expanding out and slamming towards Zero.
Oh, goody.
Zero, what's your AC?
17.
Okay. You watch as the fist slams right next to your head as you manage to duck just low enough to avoid it. The entire wall behind you crumbles. Like a large, 5-foot section of it just crumbles backwards.
I like to
That's
think the reason for that was the second I got control of my body again, I just prostrated, and then I was like, oh wait, the Queen's body.
Yeah,
And then I
were
look
just-
up like,
you
ah,
immediately
shit.
ducked. You immediately ducked, looked up, and saw a golem. A far less appealing physical form to look at. Glory, you're up.
Oh, I'm assuming Kay's got higher dex than me.
I've got 16, yeah.
I've got 15. So after you, my dude.
Oh. Alright. Now, remind me, reactions beginning of the turn order or beginning of my turn?
Beginning of your turn.
So I'd have that back. Okay.
Mhm.
I would like to. Let me just check. Now, this you see around the outside. There's this like higher up ledge. Is that somewhere we could potentially go, or is that actually there?
You mean this area?
Like
Or
right
you mean this
here.
area? That doesn't exist. This exists, but this is this basically isn't a ridge. It's just a
wall.
corridor.
It's just a wall.
It's just
Oh,
a
okay.
corridor on the other side of a wall.
That's fine. That's fine. I'd like to use my bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Chug a great healing potion,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
which is 44 plus Dewberry.
44 plus 4.
Nope.
You heal for 13.
I'm now not a half elf.
Your action?
My action will be to place a hand onto Roman's shoulder
Mm-hmm.
and cast a thunder step,
Thunderstep.
which I don't think I've got it programmed in correctly because no,
Explain
I'll
it to
click it.
me.
I think it is. Read it.
Thunderstream.
Thunderstep!
Yes, yeah, I've
You
cut off a letter.
teleport yourself to an unoccupied space you can see within range. Immediately after you disappear, a thunderous boom sounds, and each creature within 10 feet of your space make a Constitution to 3d10. Someone can be heard from 300 feet away. You can bring along objects as long as they
I think I
weight
can
does
bring
not
a
exceed
creature
what
with
you
me.
can carry. You can also carry one willing
Yeah.
creature of a size carried to yours lower. Okay, so you're literally
At
taking.
first I
him
thought he was calling me an object. I was like, what the fuck?
Cool, the dimension door that hurts people.
Okay, so roll
Can
3d10.
Would I potentially be able to move away so I don't hit a teammate, or?
Me would be the only one at risk.
The thing is, you'd have to move Roman as
Okay.
well with yourself.
I could just move to here, so I'm not within 10 foot of.
True, and you're still within his attack range.
And yeah, so
Yeah,
okay,
that's
so I'll do
fine.
that. Then I'll do it if that's okay.
Okay.
So it's 3d
Well,
and thunder damage.
okay, so 3d10 thunder damage.
I
Can't
can
say
Tell
from this
already
big
he saw a
boy.
construct and he's like,
What's your
thunder!
DC?
Oh, it's 17.
Okay. It succeeds it. Just. So just watch as the thunder cracks out, and it just kind of almost more like a sound barrier hitting in water, just kind of ripples off of it more than anything else. It doesn't seem to even much move, as it just notices you move, and you just teleport away with Roman, excuse me.
Hey,
Does
Roman, I
it
hope you're
seem
winning.
to have vulnerability to thunder, as
I'm
many
going to
constructs have?
I'm going all the way over there.
Hang on. Oh,
You'd
you can
be-
see within range, 90 feet. Okay, that works.
You'd be.
Sorry, Roman, what were you saying? Or sorry, Zero, what were you saying?
Does it seem to have vulnerability to thunder, as many constructs do?
No, it does not. This is one creature that has many things. Vulnerabilities are not one of them. Okay, at the end of your turn, Laura, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna hit it twice.
Go ahead.
Yeah, still twice. No, 3 times. How do I how do I play D&D?
How I
okay.
done that? How I fight her?
One, two.
Nope, nope.
I also get one with.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
And you have all your
And
weapons
then
are
I
magical as
will-
well.
Yes, and I
Oh,
will.
magic.
I will add goading to that last one.
Okay, what kind of damage is goading?
Great question. No idea.
I think
It'll
it's psychic.
No, I think it's the same as the weapon type. All of the maneuvers. It just adds it to the weapon type.
I'm looking through my book to try and get confirmation.
I don't think it says, but it just says you add this much damage to the weapon roll, which would mean
Just a moment.
Yeah.
yeah. Double check. I'm 90%.
Expend one superiority dice. You add the damage dice to your damage roll. So yeah, it's just the same
Yeah.
damage. It doesn't specify damage type, so that's an additional 6 to him.
And he has to
Wait,
make a wisdom saving throw. It's not a high DC, but it's still a DC.
What's the DC?
14.
Okay. You look as you strike that golem, and you just like parry its strike as it's trying to aim for 0 for another swing, and now its full attention is straight on you.
Okay.
You're not sure if that was a good idea.
Probably not, but it's better than it taking 0 out in Glory's mind. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay, Kirok, you're
Good
up.
luck.
Okay. Bird on the field. How
30. 30 feet in the air. And you watch as when the golem leaped into position, its head actually scraped against the top.
Great! I love it when flying is useless, because it's the only thing I get. Cool. So you said that there is an external corridor?
Yes, there is.
Cool.
It's out here, and there's the other entrance right there.
I'm assuming it doesn't go. That's
No,
nothing.
that doesn't exist. That
Yeah.
literally is just
It's
that's
just
the Dark Souls mist door.
It's the fog door.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
That's literally what I was thinking of.
Okay.
Now I want to kill these things and walk through it. But anyway,
Okay, well, go in as you mean to go on. I'm going to cast a fireball at this fellow over here. Just go,
Okay.
"Ah, pff!"
Alright,
and
cast the damage.
then I'll use it's a dexterity saving throw. I'll cast it at 3rd level. Nice. I will not empower that because I don't think
I don't know what these things are strong to.
You
but-
watch as you pull out the fireball and throw it towards the creature. It slams into his chest. The stage behind it begins igniting. All the things around it begin igniting. The table begins igniting. The creature seems entirely unfazed.
Oh shit. Ah! I fly away.
Okay, what way do you fly?
I'ma fly over here. Because I got 50 feet of movement, so I'm just gonna go. "Ah!"
Okay, smart bird.
And I have my turn.
Okay, it's now the other golem's turn. You watch as it looks out following the bird's movement. And just breaks through the wall.
From the exact noise she makes.
It just raises up a massive fist aiming to strike at you.
I
Seeming
guess
as
she
it, it's using its sword actually because it had to slam through the actual wall. What's your AC?
22.
Do you want to know how what I rolled? 21. You just managed to bring up the barrier just in time, and this shield that you've used so many times, that reliable source, just blocks the attack, but you watch as the shield cracks. And the creature just glares at you. 0, it is now your turn.
Okay. All right.
I've got this one. Help Kirok.
I can't. I'm in melee with this thing. I can't just go and play with something else.
Glory says that in character.
Yeah, she says, I've got this, go
Me
help
out of
that guy.
character.
So much of my stuff is for biological people. I'm gonna tap Glory on the shoulder and cast Greater Invisibility.
Gloria's now gone.
And then I am going to move at the flanky.
Okay.
And I'll use my bonus action to cry.
Okay, that's your bonus action. Roman!
Is that a 5th level spell?
No, that's a cantrip.
That's a cantrip.
That's a free action. That's the
At will.
rarest cantrip ever. It's a free action cantrip. It's the one of a kind. Everyone has it. Anyone can use it at any time.
Yeah, it's like a low level create water.
Oh, I get it, yeah. Very low level.
Okay, Roman, you're up. Yeah, you can see it. You also watched
Oh,
the
no.
fireball have absolutely no effect. Neither did it striding through the fire. If anything, it looked like the cracks and creases in its form seemed to seal up.
Do I go for the old trusty banishment. Yeah, why not? I'll go ahead and cast banishment on the one next to Kirok.
Okay, what kind of roll is it?
It is a charisma.
Okay. Right. Even with its resistance to magic, you watch as you point out towards it, and the golem disappears before reappearing above the stage in a bubble. Seeming like it can't be removed from this area, but it is currently disabled.
It has been put in the graveyard.
Oh my god.
Is that your turn?
Your trap card has been activated and removes
Yes.
Man-eating bug! That old little bastard come back to kill me!
Oh, man,
Fuck that bug! Fuck that bug!
And then
Man-eating bug saves me again.
not going to do anything else because banishment's a concentration.
Okay. Ash, you're up.
Okay.
Your girlfriend has disappeared, and Zero is crying behind a golem. What do you do?
Oh, actually, sorry. I can hit both of them because it's cast at a 5th level.
Casting it
So I
at
can
5th
track
level?
for both. I have to cast at 5th level. I cast at the highest level I can.
Because he's a warlock!
That's how warlocks work.
Well, one of those was a -3,
Right?
because golems have a charisma of 1.
Right.
Oh.
So they've both been deactivated, is what you're saying.
They're currently both deactivated, but nothing happens. So, it seems like this is a momentary disablement rather than an actual dispelling of.
Right. I understand that completely.
Basically, you guys got a minute. If you want to buff each other, go ahead. But
Yeah,
when a
either-
minute ends, these fuckers are back.
Yeah.
Spells!
Alright.
We can
Okay,
have
I'll
three-
tell you what. I will let everyone prepare 2 things. Go.
Can we move as well?
Yes, you can move as well. You have a minute. So, you guys can prepare anything, but you can use all the movement you would have, so that's literally like position yourself wherever you want to be inside of this place. And you currently have the minute, so I'm going to go down the initiative order. Ash, it would be your turn next. What do you want to do?
I would like to, as my main action, cast Crusader's Mantle.
Okay, nice. Do you want to try and clump up with your friend? I'll presume everyone clumps up with this anyway. Okay, so currently any ally that is within, basically once you enter 30 feet of her, but when you leave it, you lose it. While in the aura, you have radiant damage upon your weapons. So bear that in mind, folks, as long as you're within 30 feet of her. Is there anything else you want to do?
I believe that's a concentration, so...
It's actually not, funnily enough.
It doesn't
not?
say it on there anyway.
Let me check. Let me check on the.
It doesn't say on the thing on Roll20. Okay, who would like to be hasted? I'm thinking Glory.
What's up, bitch?
Glory
Yes, it is.
being
It's-
hasted.
Is it time for
I tell you what,
Is it
Folks,
time for our
sorry.
powers combined? You are Captain Glory.
folks, just a moment.
Guys,
Ash, it is a concentration of up to 1 minute. So I'll say, you know
Yeah.
the timing, you'll wait until the last 6 seconds and then cast it, so you have 54 seconds of this.
Yes, that was what I just said before everyone talked over me.
Sorry.
Yes, sorry.
You assholes! Talking over my girlfriend, I'll fight you!
Because I said that I was going to check, because Roll20 doesn't have it as a concentration facility.
And now we know. So,
And now
happy
we know.
days.
So any melee people, bunch up, please.
Do your jobs, and bear in mind you can move wherever as well, honey. You have a lot of space, so you can
Yeah.
move up into
I know,
melee,
I
getting ready to
know,
fight
but,
them boys.
It's more a case of slamming on the shield and going, "Come on, have a go if you think you're old enough."
If you're not the closest target, they might ignore you. Varys? I'll say, by the way, guys, with your movement, don't need to tell me. You all have the movement to do whatever you want.
Mhm.
Varys, you're up. What do you want to prepare?
I would. You said 2 things.
2 things.
I effectively want to go into a blade song, so it would be a bonus action, and I want to draw my sword, and as I draw it, just run my hand down it, casting it in shadow and casting a shadow blade.
Okay. How long does
Which-
Shadow Blade last for?
It's a minute concentration.
Okay, you do this just as they're coming back out, just like the Crusader's
Yeah.
Mantle. And it's weird, whenever you're close to Ash, you watch as this blade of shadow has a light emitting from it, as if it was as if it was a black cloth with a light torch underneath it, sort of thing.
I'll also be casting that at level 4, by the way.
Okay, I don't understand the rules of it, but I presume
Yeah.
that's increased damage.
I'll show you it. I'll click it.
Okay, thank you. Glory, are you just gonna wait?
I'm gonna be like, cast your spells now, and I'm gonna stand and I'm just gonna hold attacks until something gets me.
Yeah, you're just
'Cause
gonna
that's what I do.
you're just gonna wait and jump to them the moment they come out. Okay.
Actually, actually, 4th level doesn't make a difference, so it would be the 3rd level, sorry.
Okay, you only casted a third level then, okay. Kirok, what do you do?
When I have like 6 seconds left, I will be casting Haste on Glory, which lasts for a minute, so I'll be leaving it to the end.
Okay.
And that's...
You'll be leaving it to the end as well.
Yeah.
Glory, you are now hasted. So when you said, okay, we're gonna get ready to catch a come do. Zero, you're up.
Excellent.
Kirok,
gonna
is there
be-
any other spells you want to cast or be ready to cast the moment they come out?
I will. Okay, I'll go back to the door, so I can actually see them. Actually, yeah, door, hole, same thing. And since they are both standing next to each other, let me just check the distance.
For you, knowing you, you'll be able to hit them both usually.
Generally, yeah. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Okay, rolling up the sleeves.
The feathers roll up the arm.
Yes.
We go. Time to nuke
The feathers,
golden
yes, tactical nuke,
star.
feathers rolling up the arm. They're both getting prismatic sprayed.
Oh shit! Oh, I'm excited.
High
Oh,
level
I'm
burbs.
excited.
Only high level
level
burbs.
burbs.
Roman, you're up.
Oh,
What do you
level
want to prepare?
It's my go. You skip me.
Oh, sorry, Zero, you're up. Zero, you're up.
I'm gonna ask Ash this while I'm doing this. I'm gonna take out one of my knives or whatever, and I'm gonna tap the ground. I'm gonna use sort of a nature check and probably ask her to help. What's below the stone and how thick is it?
That stone, you hit it, and you can tell just by hitting it that it doesn't seem to have an end. It just keeps going.
I think I know what you're thinking, but you.
Okay, you said I get to do 2 things, right?
Yeah, you have 2 things you can prepare.
Okay, I am going to stone shape some of the ground in front of me
Mm-hmm.
to make it as difficult and pointy and sharp and nasty as humanly possible.
Okay. Okay, you basically make... If anyone remembers this is the game Magicka, when you can make a wall of spikes around you with stone and shield, you're doing that, basically.
No, I'm making the floor... It's not a wall, it's just the floor is nasty now, so if anything
Yeah, you
steps
just
on
raise
it's
it
gonna...
up and it's like spikes everywhere and it's nasty and it's basically the most painful, difficult terrain you can imagine.
And then I'm going to move over next to Glory.
You make that area around that area you were at previously spiky, and then you move here. Or do you move to Glory and then do it?
Just behind me, because that's where the golem was, and when the banishment ends, they tend to pop back where they were, so...
Okay, I getcha. Alright. Rome. Okay, is that all you wanted to do, Zero? Anything else?
I'm going to cast Greater Invisibility again when the 6 seconds before the end
Okay.
on Glory.
Alright, so you greater invisibility again on Glory. Roman, you're up. What do you plan to do? Don't say cast banishment again. Because fuck you. Nah, this is very, very clever use of it. I'm not gonna pretend otherwise.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. But, I'm basically, as banishment's about to end, I'm going to cast Advar's Black Tentacles, which makes it to where their turn's basically going to start there, and so they'll have to do a dexterity saving throw.
Or take damage, isn't it?
Take damage and be restrained by the
Okay.
tentacles.
Is it a strength saving throw to break out of the tentacles?
It is a strength or dexterity check on their turn. But
Okay.
they have to use their action.
All right. Ashk, are you moving up or are you going to stay in your position?
I'm going to move up a little bit, just so that I'm within 30 feet of our other melee characters.
Okay. We'll say you move up.
Kicked in because the coffee is kicked in.
Okay. You're within melee of the others. So at that point, Ashk, your spell. At that moment, Ashk, you look up. Roman spell drops. The very first thing that's going to happen is the prismatic spray. That's the first thing that's going to affect them.
Dexterity saves.
Okay, 2 dexterity saves.
Hang on, where am I going?
I don't know.
I just made a last minute move there. That's just. Oh.
Where the hell am I going? I'm off the map. Okay,
What?
there we go.
Get
Then.
back there!
You went to the edge.
What happened there?
This big white hand in a glove picks her up. Get back over there.
Sorry.
Little Lakitu flies.
Well, one
in
of
like
those was a
arrow.
natural 20, but the other one was a 14.
Of course it was. Well, the 14 fails, thankfully.
So cast out prismatic spray.
Okay,
This-
first thing I have to do, you decide which one is number 1 and number 2. Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's the 8, is
okay,
it?
Yeah, number 1 gets red ray, fire damage.
Fire.
Number
I'm gonna say that you get the one that was charging you with the red.
Okay. Okay, number 2 gets 4 poison damage. Great damage against
I don't
constructs,
know.
but there we go.
I haven't been very good.
I don't know
Is
if
that
it
all?
takes poison damage, but I doubt it.
Okay, and since I'm using my highest spell slot, I'm gonna empower it because why not?
Might not need to.
Are you serious?
Immunity to poison, and they heal off fire.
Yeah.
That's why I said the one that you didn't hurt gets the fire.
Are you kidding? Both of them?
Yeah, they're golems!
Okay.
They have immunity to poison damage and they heal off fire!
Let me see if there's
I'm literally
any-
just using a textbook golem! I'm not fucking with it!
That's unlucky.
Let me see what bonus actions I can do
Okay.
regarding spell slots.
Roman. You may as well, while she's doing that, cast out your Abadara's black tentacles. So it's gonna be bludgeoning damage against them.
Yep.
Okay, funnily enough, one of them succeeds again. This time the one that had failed her previous save manages to succeed and isn't restrained, but it is still 6 points of damage even if you succeeded, isn't it?
No, it must succeed on the dexterity saving throw or take. the
Okay, so it
damage.
does not take that damage, but the other one does take the 12.
And it is restrained.
Okay, the other one is restrained. So, folks, the way that they were positioned, this was the one that went first, and this is the one that originally got bubbled from over here. So this one is going after this one. So this one goes at the top of the initiative. Varus, you have your blade prepared, but you're not actually said you were going into melee. Kirok, have you any spells?
I'm going there.
I will quicken spell for 2 sorcery points. Let me mark that down. 1, 2. And because I'm... hang on. Nope, that's concentration. Because they are both standing next to each other, they get lightning bolted
Okay, cast away.
at... 5th level.
Go ahead, cast at 5th level. It's going to be 2 dex saves for these boys. What's your DC?
16.
Okay, one does succeed, the other fails. But you watch as the lightning actually connects to them and almost conducts between themselves against each other. They seem to both take the damage quite considerably. One of them seems to manage to avoid a little bit of it, like the other one served more as an earthing rod, and the blast did eventually go to the other, but it managed to dodge it a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But you did in fact get them both, so you did manage to do a nice bit of damage.
Okay.
And it didn't seem to be resistant. So to sake of it, guys, poisoned and fire. And any non-magical weapons that aren't adamatite. That's what you know they are resistant to. I'm going to say that now to save on spell slots being used. Oh, and psychic damage. Because they're golems. They don't have a mind to fuck with.
Yep, and no disease either.
Yeah, that's a good assumption.
I'm not positive about that. I'm assuming being constructs that they don't take diseases.
Well, they're
I
immune
think
to
that's
poison,
actually-
so... Top of the initiative. The golem that succeeded their check. It's not their turn, so Roman. Now they also make the check again, don't they? It's the first time they enter and their turn start their initiative.
Yeah.
Their turn is-
First, when a creature enters the affected area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there.
Okay, so that was it. Entering it in the first time because it landed and you cast it, and then it was their turn.
Yep.
Okay, so this is going to be another dex check for this guy.
So I take it they didn't pop up
No.
back where they've been banished from.
No,
so
they
my
appeared back up
spike
on
law
the.
didn't work.
No, they appeared back up on the stage. Okay, and that one manages to succeed again. And looks towards the nearest target, and you watch as it just leaps, lands, and I am going to need a Constitution saving throw from Ashk, Glory, and Zero.
I mean, I don't know if it would matter or not, but the area is considered difficult terrain as well.
Jumped over it.
Yeah,
It literally just went boing.
Remember, guys, you have aura of protection if you within 10
What's
feet.
that's
of me,
intelligence?
sorry.
You can still count as on that one if you want.
Constitution saving throw, folks.
Oh, I forgot to
Yeah, I
I
just
forgot
pressed
to
everyone.
move at the end of my turn.
Oh yeah, I presume you would move back. Okay, so that's a no. Zero, make a Constitution saving throw.
I already did.
Ashk, did you? Okay. Ashk, you have resistance to this damage as it is poisoned. As you watch as just like this, like its helmet almost raises up and this gout of poison just erupts out and hits all of you.
Oh.
So.
Hang on,
Zero,
hang
you're not
on. Are those is that Constitution save with my plus for charisma because of aura?
It was a 19, basically. The DC is 19. None of you guys made it.
Okay. Never mind then.
So that's 37 points of poison damage to all of you. Ashk, you take half that, so you take only 18.
I'm fully immune to poison.
Oh yes, you are. So you take no damage.
Yep.
Oh, don't.
It's more like a gentle breeze. You watch as like Glory's neck begins blackening the veins, so she's just coughing out, and you're like, the fuck?
She's currently invisible, but yeah, I get your meaning.
Yeah.
18, you said.
That you take 18 poison damage. Glory, you take 37 poison damage. Varys,
Wait, what just happened? Everything cut out.
He cast poison cloud at
Yep,
you guys.
but just tell me how
That
much
was for the
damage.
saves. That's 37 total for
That's
you.
fine.
The invisibility, there's a puff of mist next to you as someone appears to be coughing up their lungs. Varys, that is its turn. It is now your turn.
Cool. Remind me, is this one at the back restrained?
It's
By the way.
currently restrained, yes.
I would like to run my full 40 foot up to it.
Okay, bear in mind, you will enter the Abadar's black tentacles.
Yeah,
Um,
which you'll have to do the DC and everything.
restrained means I can't. Like, I can still attack as normal, right, and cast spells as normal.
But it's the moment you step in, so you could just be stopped at the edge of it.
Yeah, because it is a 20-foot radius.
Where's the edge of it?
I'm gonna presume you cast it like, say, smack bang in the middle of the.
Yeah,
Assume it did.
yeah, 20-foot square radius.
Hmm.
There we go.
That changes things.
I mean, once it gets to my turn, I was going to dispel it. If the one was already taken care of.
What's wrong? No.
Can I run across the tables? Can I be that pro?
You can run across the tables. They're big enough, and there's chairs for you to jump up on. Fuck it, guys. It'll do. Stop with the pointers.
That's enough.
My
Oh,
attack rolls
God.
are disadvantage if I'm restrained, so either way, that's no point. Fuck. No, I'm not going to move. I'm going to stay where I am. I'm going to cast a 5th level vitriolic sphere.
Ooh.
Damn, son.
Okay.
Did you find
You bitches to
Which, if you let me check it, I had to reopen my character sheet there.
It's like a fireball, but
I
acid
can't go
and
ahead.
does
Oh,
extra
that
damage.
doesn't do the description.
Okay, guys, comment. Who wants to take control of Roman?
Good, right.
I can do it.
Alright.
Okay, I'll give control of Roman over to the Fluffy, as we have a guy who has to leave for work because daylight savings hours are a bitch.
Yeah.
So I will just give blue access to Roman's
I
character
already
sheet.
have access for some reason. I probably.
Oh yeah,
spent-
I gave it to everyone.
If
I
you,
gave
have
it to
any,
everyone.
if you have any
It's not
tactics
just
in
one
mind, Narian, just send them to me in Discord.
I mean, in any case, I wouldn't be able to use any of my spells because I don't have any action points.
So you're
So
just
you have to use
cantripping.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cantrip. Or unless you want to
Cantrip
use
city,
the
bitch. Can city, bitch.
Pact Keeper.
Don't forget as well, you have the shaky stick.
Yeah, so
That's what I'm saying, Pact Keeper.
Oh, sorry, that's what
it
you're
is.
referring to. Okay. Which one are you aiming at, Varus?
It's a
Okay,
20 foot sphere, so I can hit both. I can aim it
Okay,
in the middle of
So
them.
that's a dex save for both
It's a
of them.
dex
then.
save for both. So it'll be 39 damage. I think, hold on, is the extra?
The extra is if they
just double checking,
if they
hold on.
fail the dex.
What is...
So good news, they both fail.
So they... Let me just work this out. So when you concentrate on hardly less damage, 2d4 for the shot. Yeah, so they
Alright,
initially
bye-bye,
take
everyone.
39 damage,
Boy.
See you later.
and at the end of their next... At the end of... Is it my turn or their turn? At the end of its next turn, it takes an extra 14 acid damage.
Okay. So you
39
just watch
now.
as you just like pull out the blade and you just begin spinning it in front of you as just acid begins dripping on the tables of ball forms. It coagulates and you just fling it like a sling almost from the tip of the blade, and it lands in the middle of them. It just spurts out acid. The flames previously from the fireball are quenched, and the Avatar's black tentacles seem to just almost like do this unearthly screech out as they're reaching up, as if it was actually something that could be affected by it. As that happens, you watch as the acid splashes onto the golems, and they both just seem to corrode slightly in places. As like that definitely did hurt them. Didn't seem to do anything special, but it did hurt.
And I'll run there, and that's my turn. No bonus
Okay.
action I'm doing.
Glory, you are up. I will say for you, for the sake of ease, you have advantage on all attacks because the fucker doesn't know where you are.
Hello.
That is indeed how invisibility works.
Except there for some reason. I was going to ask, just doesn't matter either way, but like, do I get the sense that my goading, I'm assuming, is gone?
It's not gone. It
Okay.
just currently can't see you to hit you.
Fair enough. Right. Now I've got to remember how this works. Okay, so 2 with giant fella, 1 with talon, and then an extra 1 with giant fella.
That would be
because
with
of
advantage,
haste.
bear in mind.
Shit.
So I'll
Count
say
those as giant-
I'll just say yeah, that'll be just one attack, yeah. So
And then
roll
I'll roll
another one
2
for
more.
Talon, and then go into advantage and roll for Giant Fella for the
Okay.
out of bounds.
I have to do it twice because haste gives me another action to do an attack with.
Okay, now swap to advantage, and now click
Yep, got
Giant
it.
Fella twice.
Be a single weapon attack with haste
Yeah.
action.
Yeah, but I get. So, yeah, I get a lot of attacks here.
Only 2 of them hit.
Okay.
Well, that is 28 points of damage to the one in front. seems
don't
to like-
forget Ash's
Yeah, I was
special
about
radiant thing.
to ask.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
one D.
Oh,
there's
you
one-
would have had to. Sorry, honey. Make a concentration check for the spell. So Constitution saving throw to maintain Crusader's Mantle. Okay, you maintain it. Glory, just roll an extra. Just roll 2d4 right
Yeah, I
now.
was gonna say how many of them hit. So
It's only 2, so roll 2d4. Okay, so
yeah,
that's another
extra
2
3
points of
radiant. That's fine.
You manage to like cleave at its arms. You actually cut through, and it seems like it's hollow on the interior. It's almost like a suit of massive armor. And when you do, it looks like this blue liquid just begins pouring out of it. It's definitely taking a beating, but it's a golem. It's definitely not going to go down anytime soon. But it's taking a beating.
Okay.
Glory, if you
But it
see a
swings
little,
its sword out at you in frustration, but it doesn't actually know where you are, so it's just wild flails into the air.
Cool.
That's your turn, is it? Or do you want to action surge or do anything?
I'm good for now. In
Okay.
case
Can I
this
say
all
something quickly?
goes tits up. Yes.
if you see a little red circle inside his armor somewhere, hit that.
Shut up, you. Kirak, you're up.
Okay.
Nuke him, nuke him, nuke him, nuke him!
Yeah, I tried that. It didn't work. That's a concentration, so I'm not using that.
Don't use radiation damage on a ghoul.
Different
Radiation
game.
damage. What?
Different game.
Whoa, what just happened? Where did we just go?
I just gave you a Fallout hint. Don't use the thing it's meant to use on you against it.
Okay, so Kirak will flutter on over here and peek through the door and go, oh, look at that! They've lined up! Oh, that's lovely! Oh, that's
What a lovely line.
That's a
to put
lovely
someone
line
who
for
tries to kill
another
us.
lightning bolt to happen.
Right.
Deck saves.
At
No.
5th level again.
No. Oh. They make it with advantage so they both succeed.
Of course they do.
Disadvantage.
The
I really
tentacles
wish
aren't-
Knights of Chaos could impose disadvantage on people.
Disadvantage if restrained, right?
Okay, so it's just a straight roll, so the one at the back actually fails because it had a 1 and a 17.
Nice. 5.
Okay, so that's 20 for the one in front.
It's only 1 dice, I'm not going to empower it. Actually, yeah, I'll empower it because I've got freaking 11 sorcery points. So I'll just re-roll that one in the hopes that it's higher. Fine, not my night tonight.
No, you just dealt 80 damage to 2 golems. No biggie. Well, 60. It's 160 to save. Yeah, they're looking like you're whittling them down, and funnily enough, you're whittling them down at a fairly even rate.
I really spilled for days.
It's all we have.
And 2 more sorcery points, just a little quick ray of frost on top.
Which one?
The fellow at the front, just because
Okay.
he's in front.
That's fair.
It's a ray, so I can't really hit the guy behind him.
Okay, so make the attack roll.
Please be programmed incorrectly.
So Glory or Curls, we're gonna get something like this tomorrow, yeah?
No comment.
Okay, you just shoot it at the knee, and you watch as the knee begins like freezing up, like just that area just begins like consolidating with ice. But at the end of your turn, it is now the other golem's turn. It's going to make a strength check to break out,
Just go beep.
I've got to break free.
which it has with the magical resistance, so it does that at an advantage.
Break
You watch as it pulls its way free of everything and just leaps and lands to there,
Hi!
and then proceeds
doesn't
to
know
step
you're there.
over to here, and it's going to look at this little thing that is the closest thing to it, and is going to target it. So it's going to unload with a slam, and it's going to unload its sword on top of you, Zero Little.
Oh, I'm the little thing. Okay, I thought you were the
Yeah,
dwarf.
That's,
Goes,
So,
a
okay.
little...
so I asked
Thing.
this because it's important. You take 25 points of bludgeoning damage, make a concentration check.
Yes, no, I do have advantage on these checks because my warcaster.
Warcaster. Yep. Nope. Greater invisibility drops.
You're visible.
That's okay.
And how many points of
no,
damage do I take? Sorry.
Take
Anyway.
25. You watch as the golem then raises up its sword, and it's going to try and stab at you. And yeah, that hits, so that's 18 points of slashing damage.
Hit him in response because bitch just hit my friend.
Use your reaction to do so then?
Giant fella. Do I have
You
advantage
did
for
say
any reason?
18, right?
No, it seems like these creatures are actually guarded enough that they're trying to block from multiple sides.
Okay.
So this one, the striking Zero, is actually fully aware of Ashk and is also parrying her back.
Okay.
So unfortunately, you swing, and
That's fine.
you try to swing up with Giant Feather in one hand, but it raises its sword to you and parries, and you have to actually pull back for risk of it just being thrown from your hand.
Don't break my wrist.
Felt like it could have if you didn't pull back. Zero, you're up.
Alright, I am going to...
These things have one job: be sacks of hit points.
and
Relatable.
hurt myself back. And be resistant to everything.
Also related to Curl.
Also my job. I am the golem of the party. I'm like the metal dog.
Also me, kinda. Except I'm green.
Nah, you heal. You keep us all alive and...
You hide in the back. You're not the tank. You're the artillery piece. It's just going
Alright.
to beam.
Glory's in touch range, and I can see it, and given what just happened, I'm going to cast protection of poison on her, from poison on her.
Okay.
I'll give you protection in the future. And then I'm going to cast Healing Word at level 2 on myself as a bonus action.
So that's that golem takes acid damage at the end of his turn.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it does.
14
That's an extra
points.
14. Seems like the acid begins actually trying to burn through, and seems to burn through its back a bit.
Good, now everyone that's in melee is either resistant to poison or completely immune to it.
Roman, you're up. Kirak, you're muted.
Cool. I don't know what Rod of Packkeeper does, so I will...
Literally, it's I think it's a bonus action to shake it, and you get a spell slot.
I think. Oh, hang on.
Correct,
correct.
I thought that was fire.
I'll save that for now. I'll just Eldritch Blast, because Warlocks.
Okay.
Anyone can play a warlock, just Eldritch Blast every turn. Right? That's how that works.
Yeah, that hits. Which one are you aiming at?
The one which is this fella.
Okay, blast away.
Can you do 2 Eldritch Blasts? Is that a thing?
Hang on.
I don't know how.
Let me
Rogan's
actually
built.
check the rule of Eldritch Blast, because I don't think he might literally just click it every time, because it's basically the equivalent of a Warlock multi-attack. Just some...
And it scales with level.
It depends on what you pick and stuff as well. He has Eldritch Spear, which doubles the thing.
Okay,
and he has
your
Agonizing
own.
Blast.
Okay, so give you an idea. Yeah, Agonizing Blast gives charisma to it. His charisma modifier gets added to it, but you do also get another attack with it. It's basically 2 beams, so it's 2 times you hit with it. So cast it again.
Did he cast Hex as a bonus?
No,
Whoops.
another attack roll.
He's got no spell slots.
That one probably won't hit.
That will not hit, unfortunately. But the first one does, so it's 4 points of force damage.
4 plus...
Charisma
3.
modifier?
Yeah, 3, because it's not coded in.
Okay, so that is 7 points to him.
Okay.
Nice. Again, their health seemed to just consistently be whittling down about the same. That's your turn?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wish to stay
Once I
alive.
caught up,
There we
once Yeah.
I really wish to stay alive. That's his
Ash,
turn.
you're up.
I'm gonna whack a golem.
Do it.
And I'm gonna ask this once I've hit the down thing. 1,
Take it to smash. Yeah, that'll hit.
2.
Nope.
Will I have, because the spell says any non-hostile creature within the aura,
That includes yourself.
that does include myself, so roll 1d.
An additional d4 bludgeoning damage to it. Would you like to sink a divine smite in there?
Do you know what? Yeah.
Do it.
Second level, please.
That's 3d8, so roll 3d8, and don't forget
Hang
to
on,
roll the...
I'm sorry. I believe I'm rolling 1d4 for the radiant damage.
Yes, 1d4 for radiant, and 3d8 for the smite. Minus that. Nice. Another 11. You guys are very slowly but surely chipping these things down.
Why am I worried they have like a bajillion health?
I know.
Because they probably do.
I know Nemo. Not Nemo. Neren said it. Did he drop black tentacles on his turn? I know he said he.
I said he was going to, so I'll presume he did.
Cool.
Okay, so we'll say that he did. Okay, at the top of the initiative, it's the first golem, the one that's slightly frozen. You watch as if something inside of it just begins winding, and just you hear this like sound from it, and all around it, like any of the pores or any of the slits in it, begin to go burning hot red. And you watch as it just literally aims at its feet, and the fist that it has changes out, like the fist actually like disappears back up into the forearm, and it just aims point blank at the ground. I need a dexterity saving throw from 0. I need one from Glory. I need one from Ash, please.
Yikes, boys!
I must say
Save
that's a
it, that's
fail.
right.
That doesn't save me.
I'm assuming I'm safe where I am, yeah? Just.
However, if it's off,
Hang on.
anyway.
Funnily enough, it's directly on itself, so you are within range.
Cool. That's what I'll double check.
So
Not that
dexterity
one.
saving throw from you as well.
Not that I'm trying to kill myself.
Does its friend have to make a dex save since it's point blank?
Nope, because its friend wants to get hit by this.
Great.
Fire heal, boys.
It's effectively a fireball. That's what I'm guessing.
I'm gonna fireball him right up the ass.
I rolled it because I didn't want to roll it online. Because reasons.
I am afraid.
Because I didn't want you guys to know how much they healed by. So that's. Okay. Anyone who rolled higher than a 16?
None of
No.
them.
No one.
Maybe Varus with bonus. What's the
don't
rate?
get-
No, he's not in
The range is 10
Okay.
feet, but what is the charisma bonus?
Ah, okay.
Charisma bonus is a +3.
That means 0 would succeed it then. Okay. So,
Fire damage, I take half anyway.
total damage is 27.
I will.
Glory, you take total of 13. 0, you take 13. Ashk, you take 27. Varus,
I'm using my reaction to lower the damage.
absorb element.
I'm going to use a 4th level spell slot to reduce it, so it reduces it by 20 damage.
Okay, so you take 7 points of fire damage then.
It still means I need a con save. It's plus my intelligence mod, so I make it. How much? 7 points, you say?
You take 7 points total, yes.
Yeah. I think that's right. Yeah, I get +5 to my con save, so.
Okay, and that's its turn,
And he takes some
but
acid
they
damage.
both heal.
He takes 14 acid damage.
Thank
End
you.
of his turn.
It seems like the fire did more healing than the acid did damage.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, at the end of its turn, Varus, it is now your turn.
I'm gonna run.
Oh, I have to roll as well, a d6 for it.
So I'm possibly trying to get a flank in. I know you said not before, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, you don't get flanking.
No, I'm gonna make 2 weapon attacks with my Shadow Blade.
Yeah, it gets his poison breath back, but does not get the fireball back.
Shadow Blade, I'll program this. So I get a higher level, so it's 3d8. Normal. The 26.
26 does hit.
That does that much damage. Shadow Blade's fucking dope.
It doesn't.
Oh fuck, it's psychic damage.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did say that earlier.
You did, but I completely forgot it was psychic damage because it's a new spell.
Sorry, my dude.
Can I have free action just to dispel Shadow Blade?
Yeah, it's free action to
And
spell
take
Shadow
my
Blade.
second attack?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just take a normal counter attack.
You're aware that the blade doesn't do anything on the first strike, so then you do it the second.
Well, it takes.
Is the katana is not magical at all, is it?
It's not.
Okay, so it does take the 6 damage from the Timora.
It was because the Timora damage. It's on weapon damage from my blessing, but it adds to the weapons damage, so that would have also been.
That would
psychic.
also have been psychic, yeah. Okay. So it takes
does
no
take the
damage.
1d4 radiant
It does.
from Ask.
Oh yeah, you do get the 1d4 radiant, so do roll that, because every little bit helps. It's damage.
It helps, guys.
It's just good damage.
And then does the
Any
second
damage
one
is
hit?
good damage, folks. Okay, that's the end of your turn, unfortunately.
Well, does the 16 hit? Sorry.
16 did not hit.
Watch
Watch as the blade. You do actually hit with the blade, but you watch as it just. It's almost like it scrapes off of stone. There is actually no indent by the blade at all.
Okay.
The blade is not magical.
No, it's not. That's my fault for forgetting that new spell was psychic damage.
You're okay, man. You're okay.
I will.
I did throw things with a lot of resistances in
I
here.
move,
It's also called Shadow Blade, so you would assume it was necrotic.
Yeah. I'm then gonna Misty Step as my bonus action.
Okay, you Misty Step out of the way.
Smart boy, smart.
Funnily enough, it doesn't have any resistance to necrotic of all things. Fair enough. So yeah, you Misty Step yourself away.
And I've got a little bit of extra movement, so I'm just gonna run to the back of the room.
Okay. You just run in, I'm helping. I didn't help. Whoop!
I tried. You failed.
But you
Laura,
didn't
you're
do anything.
Laurie, you're up.
Does one of them? Oh, I guess you said they've been getting damaged fairly equally, but they just healed anyway. So, okay, flanking. Hit.
There is
First
no
thing I'm gonna
advantage.
do
Just to bear
is
in mind.
second wind.
Okay, you second one with your bonus action.
Slash roll 1d10 plus 10. Shit, am I 10th level? Crap.
Yes, you are.
Mm-hmm.
You heal for 13.
Okay, good. Right, back to where I was before that. Oh, don't do that. And then I'm gonna hit twice with Giant Fella.
Which one?
Giant Fella, because that's...
No, which golem?
Great question. The one that's hitting Ash, because that's what Glory
That
would
one.
do.
Okay. It's like, get off my girlfriend. That's a hit. That's a hit.
That's the thing. Yep, okay. I'm actually remembering to check my rolls on 2s, because I haven't been doing that.
You still have haste.
I do, which means I get another Giant Fella. Excellent.
2d4 as well, I think.
3d4.
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 Thank you, honey.
You're welcome, sweetie.
So that's 43 points of damage, 42 points of damage.
Okay, nice. Stop hitting my girlfriend!
You watch as you like carve into its side, the arm it has free, it just begins trying to swing out at you, and you actually cut it off. That arm just falls to the ground limp. But it's still got a sword arm. But it's looking really rough.
Hit me! Well, I'm just gonna go, everyone hit this thing! Declare.
Make a persuasion check.
But me, -2 charisma.
Hey, you should hit me.
-2? My god.
Yep.
My charisma's a 7, kids!
You're a tiefling!
I know! It could have been so much worse!
Yep.
Oh my god.
Never race change me, everybody!
Kirak,
No one
you're
wants
muted,
me
but
with
it
a
is now your
5.
turn. You're muted, just let you know.
Oh.
Right, well,
That one looks fucked.
cool. I'm gonna pop my head around the corner and I'm gonna do my best Zenyatta impression. By using a quicken spell to cast 2 chromatic orbs at once. I'm gonna do them both at 2nd level.
Nice. Where are you aiming them?
Oh, I'm gonna aim the first one. I'm gonna aim the first one at the first dude, and if he falls over, if he doesn't fall over, then he gets the second one. First
Okay,
one.
so cast them both.
The first one will be at advantage because I say it will.
Wild magic! Is that the D100 wild magic?
No, I've only used it once. How does
Wait,
that?
you have to use it twice before wild magic kicks in?
That's what you said.
Oh yeah.
That was your.
Oh yeah,
rule.
because every time you use advantage, it was a bit bully. Don't worry, I'll say it whenever. Okay. So you chose acid.
Yes.
Okay. And that hits, but it's still standing.
Fine, he gets it again. And yeah,
Do it.
I'm gonna wild magic.
Okay, now it's gonna be wild magic actually proccing.
Yes, it will.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your next chromatic roll with advantage. That does not hit.
Bullshit. Okay, so I'm going to
But it was
wild
very
magic.
close to hitting.
Right.
And if you do a D4.
Can I use that as a... Yeah, I've not had a reaction yet. 2 sorcery points to do that. 1, 2... I'm running out of sorcery points because I keep using them.
What they're there for?
That's
Okay.
20 in total to
Its
hit.
AC is 20.
Oh.
Do you want to know how much health it had left? 16!
Hey!
Hey!
Is there any particular way you want to dismantle this golem?
The first orb takes out the head. And then the second orb, it completely knocks the chest away, just leaving like the arms and legs standing for a second before they crumple.
Okay.
Play of the
You blast it out,
game.
you watch as the helmet just melts off, and then the torso melts away. The arms crumple, but you watch as the sword still lingers, and flies over to the other golem, who catches it in his other hand, and crosses the blades looking at you all. And it looks like it's actually like internal core. It's like this fiery interior that is now just seething. That is the end of your turn. It would have been that golem's turn, but it's dead.
And Glory, as you so enjoy seeing
not
happen
again.
with Kirok, she looks at you over the mess of this dissolved creature, gives you the thumbs up, and then immediately vanishes into thin air.
Oh, for fuck's sake! And then
Where do we go to?
We don't know.
I, however, do. Okay. Okay. And I'm just going to... We'll just pretend that she is not currently here. Zero, you're up.
You were saying his flame core lit up, so that means like his eyes are holes and we can sort of see the fire coming out of them, right?
Yes. It's basically like a furnace that just got a lot of fuel put in it.
Okay. This is probably a stupid idea, but it doesn't take any attack rolls or anything by the way I'm reading this. So I'm going to look at him, realize that he's a kind of container, and then I'm going to create water at 5th level.
I've just realised. I just realised what you were gonna do.
So do you just fill him with water?
Oops, that mind that I just misclicked. But
You literally just gotta fill him with water.
I also do it at 5th level, so when you cast a
Create
spell using a
50
slot 2nd level high, you create or destroy an additional 10 gallons of water, or the size of it.
Basically, you're gonna fill him. Lack of a better term, you're just trying to fill him.
I'm going to fill him to absolute bursting.
Okay.
50 gallons
You
of
watch as
water.
all the water just pours into this creature, and that core on the inside, even as the water is pouring in, there is nothing but steam that erupts out. The entire area, about 20 feet around you guys, is obscured currently with just the fucking sauna you've just made.
That's worth a try.
But you do
At least
realize
it's
that looking
relaxing.
from all the wounds it has, all the core, like all the cuts and everything, just water is just seeping from it like a barrel filled to brim. That if it not for the fact that this was a magical construct, it might have given, but it's not a magical construct, or it is a magical construct, so it is staying strong. But is that your turn?
I'm also going to use a bonus action to 2nd level healing word on myself.
Okay, you do that. Roman, Blue, make sure you're not muted.
I'm thinking.
I will say, however, currently you have disadvantage on aiming in because the area is obscured with steam.
Cool.
Because somebody decided to make a goddamn sauna.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
It's very relaxing to the people in the immediate who are having a very stressful day.
The water is under your armor, Glory, and it's just like soaking into the like padding underneath, and it's just like saunas are nice when you're naked.
Should I use the Hunger of Adar again, or?
You have no spell slots, but you could do shaking your stick for it.
The Rod of the Keeper will give him a spell slot back.
It will, yes.
Cool, I think.
And you could definitely cast it where only, like, say, you know where the creature is. It's a big creature. You see its silhouette, but it's difficult to say focus on. So you could definitely like to cast it, aiming the area to hit it as well.
Okay, I'll do that then.
If you have anything electrical, he's currently a giant metal object filled with water in a cloud of steam.
Roman does not have a lot of electrical stuff by the looks of it.
Kirok, on the other hand, is a walking fucking Tesla coil.
It's a favourite element. But anyway,
Pain can relate.
Literally Zapdos.
oh my god!
She just had a realization and she does not care.
Does this table let me turn yellow?
We'll see.
The love child
Maybe,
of Zapdos and Articuno.
Moltres.
Hybrid form.
I'm a ho-oh, bitches.
Fusion ha!
That's not
Okay,
nice thing to say
I'll
about
do
yourself.
this thing then. I'm not 100% sure what it does, but I'm doing it.
Okay. It does not have anything it does at an additional level, but let's see. Okay, so when it starts its turn, it will take 2d6 cold damage. And at the end of its turn, if it ends the turn in the area, it must make the dexterity saving throw for the acid damage.
Mhm.
So currently, we'll just say this area around here is infected, and it's basically like half casting it.
Mhm.
Think very much so Full Metal Alchemist getting pulled in kind of thing.
Yes.
This is your Alphonse.
Oh no,
Oh, why would you say that?
my poor heart.
Big Brother Varys.
Stop.
Oh, I just had fun about your sister ideas.
No.
Oh, Blue gave me the ugly. Blue gave me the ugly.
Blue's like, I'm gonna send him to the Shadow Realm.
Don't worry, guys. Clearly, I couldn't wash off the blood seal inside there, so obviously.
This is gonna be an alchemist that walks in the door in a minute and goes, "What the fuck are you doing to my brother?" Anyway, is that Roman's turn?
Yes. He'll obviously
Okay.
just pop his head out to cast, then pop back in.
Pop out, pack back in. Okay, Ash, you're up. This creature is half cast in it, but you can definitely get into melee with it.
Question.
Wow.
Golai Tori emits light, doesn't it?
It does, yes. So you're basically you're essentially the equivalent of a teeny tiny lighthouse.
In a fog of steam.
Yeah. Basically, there's a little ship going past you. It's using you to guide to shore.
Do I want to whack a bitch now, or do I want to Misty Step and whack a bitch later?
Whack a bitch however you prefer, honey. You can whack a bitch. When you're in melee, by the way, there is no obstruction because it is within 5 feet of you. So
Yeah,
if you get in, you'll at least have a straight roll.
So I will still be able to
You can still hit a bitch.
hit at that range, even though 0 is in my way.
You can get into melee with him and hit him.
Right.
You can run
You'd
around.
have to move, yeah.
or
You
risk
could get
it
up
to
onto the
other side.
table, walk over and hit him, for example, or walk around the corpse of the other one with enough movement to hit it. But you do have enough movement too. Just a heads up, this area basically behind it. So I'm just going to do...
You-
That's half cast currently in void. So
I'll pass
past
the
that
void.
point is a no-go.
Our powers combined, we understand that, like, anything 20 feet of this way is bad.
Right.
Right.
Do not go there, you will
Because-
get touched.
Right. So
Anything
in that
with light touches.
sense, then, right. I did it before. How did I do it? How did I do it?
Press space as you're moving.
Click, move, space, but don't drop, then move again, space, then move again, space.
Say that again. Sorry, I'm dumb.
Click and hold. Move, press space while still holding the mouse. Move again, press space while still
Click.
holding the mouse.
Click and hold, press space. Click and hold, press space.
Honey, you have it on the ruler. You have to pick up your token. Literally pick up the token,
Okay.
move over another space, hit space, but don't let go of the mouse button. Move again, hit space. Move again, hit
I
space.
did
Move
it. I
again,
did
hit
it that
space.
time. Click and hold, press. Fuck it.
Honey, will I just move you?
Right. It's,
Angry dwarf, fuck it. It has the movement.
I
I
don't.
don't care.
That's not the movement. That's 35 movement.
You can climb over the golem.
I'm-
Corpse. That's a corpse. It's like pieces.
Yes.
You can walk over the golem.
Okay, I'm being an idiot. I'm sorry, guys.
You're okay, honey.
You're cool.
I can do that. Over the golem,
You can get over the golem and then hit it.
Right on a
and
bit.
then I'm gonna whack it.
Oh, hi, honey.
Charge!
Dwarf! First one hits, second one does not.
Okay, so would that be with one?
That's an additional 1d4 still, yeah.
And can I sink a divine strike into that first?
You made the swine smack that bitch, so do it. Do it!
Damn it. And that's a one. I keep forgetting that's a 1d8. Oops.
2d8 for Divine Smite. That's a 9. That's 10,
9!
25 points of damage. You whack that thing, but it manages to bring its swords up to block Olitori from the second strike. Is that your turn, love?
That's me turn.
That's me turn. I walked up and I hit it. You managed to clatter it a good bit. But now with the two swords out, you watch the golem just goes into a frenzy. And at the start and on its turn, it will immediately take the 2d6 anyway, so Kirok, you can roll that.
You have to make a dex save or something.
No, it takes the 2d6 when it starts its turn in there, and it's a dex save for the acid.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it is now just going to do a flurry. So you watch as it literally spins in that moment, and the blades swing out low against all of you. It's going to make using essentially one attack to hit all of you. So it's going to go. That's first attack is going to be against 0. That's 20 points of slashing damage.
Get them down.
Against Glory, that's 29.
What was it to hit?
20.
20? Yeah, still my AC. Okay.
And Ashk, that's an 18, so Ashk manages to block it, but because I know Ashk's AC is stupid. But the others get hit with the first attack, and now it gets its second attack, which is going to use both its swords with. So it's basically
Wait, what damage was that for me? 29.
29 slashing. So now it's going to bring both swords up and try to stab down at Ashk. So that's 27 points of slashing damage, as that definitely hits.
Can I use...
And the second one was a natural 1. So basically, give you guys an idea. It has 2 attacks on its turn, one of which with the 2 blades it did a flurry, so it was able to do 3 attacks in 1 attack action. Then it's using both blades for the same attack. On its second attack action, it struck twice. One of which hit for 27 slashing against Ashk, but the other one was a natural 1, which missed.
Okay,
so 20 points of damage then.
27.
Can I use reaction to whack a ball?
Yeah, you can whack him as reaction, yes. That does hit, and that is an additional d4 as well.
I'm looking rough, guys.
Understood.
She'll have to roll concentration to see if she gets that d4.
Oh yeah. First.
Quite true, honey. Roll a concentration check, please. DC is 13. No, Crusader's Mantle's gone. No additional d4.
Aye.
Lasted for a while, did a good bit of damage with it. Small bits, but it all adds up. Varus, it is now your turn after the beast.
I'm gonna run to to here.
Okay.
Place a hand on 0 and Thunderstep.
Okay. You and 0 teleport away. Indicate where in the room you take him to, and I'll move him for you.
I'm casting it at 5th level.
Okay, so that's additional thunder damage, yeah?
Yeah, let me just click this.
You do hit Glory with it.
Yeah, I know, it's part of the...
I can take it.
It's 5d10 thunder damage.
She might not be able to take it, you dumb. Okay.
Do it anyway. You need to do
That's
it.
a Constitution
Do it anyway.
saving throw. So
Yeah.
at 5th level,
Plus,
that is
plus 3.
5d10.
Oh god, that's hideous.
How about that?
That makes it.
So hang on, let me take a look at this then. It's a 5th level, so you're casting it at 5th level.
Yeah.
It says Conjuration 5, so...
Yep, I've clicked 5th level, so it says 5. It's a
Oh,
4th
okay.
level
So you're casting it, that's okay. So that's 23, so Gloria, you take only 12 points of damage from it. And the golem actually fails its DC check and takes 23.
Then I'll teleport, so I'm just inside this doorway, which means he would be just out of sight. Right
He
here.
will be over here then. Okay. That's your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Glory, you're up.
Sup. Okay. I'm just gonna go ham.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's looking after that assault, that thunderstruck hit it. It looks rough.
Thunderstruck.
I have to count on my hands how many attacks I do here because this is a lot.
Extra attack and 2. So you have your bonus action talent. That's 1. You have
Hang on,
3 giant feller.
2.
That's a hit. That's a hit. That's a hit. That's a hit.
Hang on, did I roll?
There's no point even
Yeah, that
rolling
damage.
anything else.
There's
There's
a
no-
one damage that's a 1 there, so one of them gets
It
rerolled.
probably doesn't matter. Not that I'm taking it away from Dash, but
If I look on Tiny Chat, has he just stopped counting?
No, I'm counting them.
Okay, hang on. That
That made you think. Hang on.
yeah, hang on. I need to do some math.
Yeah, do all the ones
So
and
that-
twos again.
That 21 is a
That 11
11.
points of slashing damage is instead a 14.
14. Yeah.
That's 14, 21,
Just on
20, 38, 44, 54. How do you want to do this?
yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
I love getting these. I just want to jump up and on my last attack and just drive giant fella between a gap in its helmet and its chest until it hits that fire bit. Just like spins it.
Okay. You leap up. You basically just literally carve your way up its massive form. Just up and up and up. And you manage to... You actually cut off both arms with Giant Fella with 2 swings. And you just stab Talon in and just push its helmet back to open up the sweet spot. You lift up Giant Fella and you stab into the core. You stab into that very center of it and you watch the entire form goes limp. But that core stays alight. And you watch as the core begins actually spreading almost like it's a liquid and pours up Giant Feller into your arm, into your body. And in that moment you get this bright red thing as all your veins alight in that moment, and just a puff of steam comes out of your mouth in that moment, very Hellboy-esque. And then, as the golem falls,
Glory turns into a fire giant.
not quite that.
Bad end.
So, in this moment, you all disappear from this room. And in that moment of striking, that moment of confidence, you blink back, and you are indeed back in the room you were before. Stood face to face again with the Lady of Waterdeep. And it's weird. And it's weird. In this moment, it's like what you just experienced was a daydream, like a vivid moment. But Gloria, you have this heat that's burning in your core right now. And while you all remember what happened, it was as if it was a dream that you all shared in that one moment.
So Nemo is not unconscious.
Nemo is not unconscious, but Nemo, you
Is
just have a
Kirok
moment
here?
of... Kirok returns and is back in her normal form.
Oh
No-
god, I hate it when that happens.
No
Hey,
longer
guys.
invisible.
That was good.
Stop doing that!
Did we actually lose any health or spell slots or
You
anything?
return back to full health. And all your
You-
spell
Oh,
slots are
thank
returned.
God!
Well, since I'm in front of the queen again, I'm going to prostrate myself.
Of course you do.
20 to 100.
Speaking of, where's that guy we came with?
Do I still have my healing potion that I used?
Your healing potion is back in your bag. She looks to all of you with a smile. You've done well, and the stories of your notorious resilience definitely has been deservedly given. I say that loosely.
You're not actually sick.
It's a habit. You sort of get a tickle in the throat. It's neurological.
Gosh.
You invented a new word. Congratulations.
Neurological just means it's a problem with the brain.
Yes, but it didn't exist in this world before you said it. Now shut the fuck up. Glory, in this moment, you have that fire in your chest, and you watch she like raises out a finger and just points into your breast, just there at the core. Mark down that you are now immune to fire damage.
Yo, can you give me that in real life?
Not
Yeah,
quite.
please, I burned my
Is that the
thumb the
power?
other day.
Is that the
not that
power I
powerful.
know you should not have?
She's not that powerful, girls.
My list of immunities and resistances is now separate.
Mhm. Also, something to make note of for yourself. Once per day, you may, using your Constitution modifier, firstly write this down. 8. Now add the number of your Constitution modifier. Now add your proficiency bonus. So 8 plus X plus Y. Once per day, you may breathe out a 15-foot cone of fire.
My girlfriend's a dragon. My girlfriend's a
down that under
dragon. My
all of this.
girlfriend's a dragon.
Mark down under all of this, you have the Infernal Core. Right, that's just a loose name for now, but the Infernal Core for now. And she looks to you with a very solemn smile. Well, he's a lot less intimidating now, isn't he?
I'm overjoyed. Gloria's just like dumbstruck, just like, and just kind of like,
You're aware
yeah, her breath.
as she just like raises a flame in her hand and just actually pushes it against your face. And while you feel the warmth, and you do pull back for the moment, but you feel the warmth, but it doesn't harm you. Not in any way.
That's useful.
And she just raises it over her own sleeve, and you watch as the sleeve burns before she moves it away, and the sleeve completely heals in that moment. But that was for a particularly well-struck blow at the end of the battle. That was not the only thing I was preparing. She looks towards Kirok. Out of character, Kirok, tell me how many items you have attuned to you.
3. I'm fully attuned.
Okay. Well, you have an option now.
Oh god, I hate decisions.
You watch she waves her hand for that moment, and Kirok, you feel something just wrap around you. And you look down, and you see a robe just entirely covering you that looks like the starlit sky. And in 3 points on either side of the cloak, coming down with a hood on the back, you see these red stars almost. Mark down that you have the robe of stars.
What does that do?
I'll explain it now because no doubt you'll have it identified. +1 to all bonus, +1 to all saving throws while wearing it. 6 stars are located in the robe's upper portion. While wearing this, you can use your action to pull off one of the stars and cast Magic Missile as a 5th level spell. Daily at dusk, 1d6 stars removed reappear on the robe. While wearing the robe, you can use your action to enter the astral plane along with everything you are wearing and carrying. You remain there until you choose to leave, upon where you will appear in the last space you occupied or the nearest unoccupied space.
That's astral plane. Right.
She throws you watch as the robe is over you. In that moment, Kirok, no one else is around. Come down to DM Whispers.
Oh god!
Oh,
Bye. Goodbye, my friend. This is not the end.
Hi!
Hello. It's just you and her. Your feet dangling as you are no longer in a space. You now recognize that this is similar to the astral plane. But instead it is as if it was a serene place of order. And it is nothing but beautiful stars. You watch stars die and be reborn. All around you, from the space. She looks to you with a smile. There is darkness in the world, child. And you see one of the stars very close to you dies. It becomes a black hole. But it is up to us to remember. We have the chance to reignite. And she points, and that star stops dying and just lights in the motion. We have the power to bring light to dark. We have power to protect from destruction and use it to creation. This is where you will transport to when you use that cloak. You will be safe here, but you only can use it for a limited period of time, but as often as you like. And she just gives a subtle bow to you. Let's move back down.
You don't.
Hey,
Oh, hey.
That bitches.
it's good.
You watch in that moment that the robe appears around her, and there's like, for those that look, you can see that the both Kirok and the Lady of Waterdeep's eyes both turn to starlight, almost like starlit filled orbs before, in a moment, they return back to their normal colors. This is what I can give you, along with my own blessing and the wishings of well on your mission. You will note that you did not get exhausted by that battle, and so you are ready to move on to the next day. Your tasks lie before you. Remember what I said. And she turns and walks back to her throne. Good luck, defenders of Faerun.
As she's walking back, I'll quickly say one thing.
She stops as you move to speak.
I'm sorry to ask this, but if you please, there's one favour I would like to ask of you.
I am listening, child of Ellerin.
I look to the group. It's regarding the cells below, the prison cells below the city.
The cells that are not of my control.
Are they not?
I have enemies in this city. Enemies that have since infested themselves. I know of what you seek.
Can I just insight check her to see if they're not under her control?
Go ahead.
Your best of luck.
There's a reason why I haven't done it, Mrs. Insight Check.
I figured Varys would.
Okay. She seems genuine.
Okay.
You've not been able to discern whether or not she's ever been lying. Her voice and her tone has stayed the same and constant the entire way through.
Yeah.
It's never once influxed in a way of emotion to discern a lie. And she's never, say, twitched or moved her lips in a particular way as well.
Okay. If not under your control, do you know whose control or how I may get access to them?
It is under the control of the crime lord who has defied me for far too long and evaded my grasp. A treacherous little fiend called Xanathar.
Roll credits.
He keeps him as a request from another. And as much as I'd loathe him, it is not impossible to broker a deal.
So you know who I'm talking about.
Your father. And she looks towards Zero.
If it pleases your Majesty, I your humble servant and member of the Moon Pigs. You have asked upon us a quite substantial task, and I will of course perform it on your behest. But I have one request. The only condition for me doing all this is that you hear my request, not necessarily act upon it.
I listen to you, child of Purple Rock.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I believe it would benefit our cause, and indeed keep those of the Far Realm in the Underdark if my ally continued. So, with that in mind, I request of you, knowing something of the past, that you pardon Vlad of all his crimes.
Make a fucking persuasion check.
Jesus.
Varys' head just goes into his hands.
Mindly.
Oh.
Definitely wasn't with advantage.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. If anything, I would have given me disadvantage.
In this moment, and Varys, you were inciting her, this moment, you can tell that her brow furrows, and there is a twitch to her lip, something that gives away an emotion, but almost emotion of disdain and anger. Before she breathes deep and looks towards you, Zero. Understand this, child. An ally of convenience is a fair weather friend. When the weather turns in his favor, he will fly from you. You may see him as an ally now. He sees you as a pawn. As much as he may be a very generous chess player, you are still a pawn. He will move you as he can, and he will take a piece wherever he sees fit. And he will use you and dispose of you. I will not be deterred from my opinion of him, nor will I ever pardon him for his actions. Child, the lives that he has destroyed he would repeat in a heartbeat if he knew he could. It is by my action that I have enforced and encouraged the training of paladins and clerics all around Faerun. Even the blood hunters who hunt down these kind of creatures I have encouraged. He is a monster. At current, he is a monster of neutrality, willing to turn his gaze against the giants for favor. But do not believe him to be a friend. He is far from that.
I
say
listen
this
politely.
to you as a child who is being taught the lesson. Do not place your hand upon the cauldron or you will be burnt. Place your hand if you will, but you will have the marks to show from your mistake.
I listen very politely and wait for her to finish, and when she's done, says, I understand, Your Majesty. I do, however, see him as the cancer he is. But you have heard my request, and that was all that I ask. I will fulfill the duty you have requested of me. Thank you very much.
Then good luck to all of you. Where it is appropriate, you may find my guard with you, and she motions towards Harshnag. But until then, he will stay at my side. Now go. The fate of Faerun rests upon your shoulders. But I have faith. Was there anything you planned to do in Neverwinter?
What was it?
Waterdeep.
Waterdeep. Fuck no.
I look at Varys.
There is.
But this would delay you from your own mission.
My mission might be different to our mission.
Then for the sake of your as a whole mission, pardon me, Valorin. And she waves her hand. And you all disappear. You move away and you find yourselves in nothingness for that moment. Before the sound of feasting, the sound of idle chatter and laughter fill your ears, and you pull yourselves up in a field of fields, dozens of fields of wheat and barley, of all sorts of grain and vegetables, and you look about yourselves. You are currently in the fields of Goldenfield. And that is where we're going to call the session.
Oh shit, okay.
The bitch. Oh,
She sent you there.
Whoops.
I know. Wasn't gonna go there. He was definitely gonna try and stay in Waterdeep while you guys do this.
Yeah, it's almost
Which
like
is
she knew
exactly
that.
what she said.
That's exactly why she sent you with.
Mm-hmm.
Great, well, you guys can tune in next week to see the aftermath of that. I'm sure there's going to be a massive family argument.
Enjoy
Goldenfield,
folks.
until then, take care, and we'll see you
Yeah,
next
well,
time.
shop at Game Tea.
Shop a game tea.
Keep your eyes posted.
Much
for
love, everyone.
Keep your eyes posted for exciting stuff this weekend, and that is all I will say. Bye bye.